Hi everybody, this is Cecilia, the Ranger Naturalist out here for Iowa County Conservation. And today we're doing the video for part of our Outdoor Skills Lab. For February, we will be learning some survival skills. And today we're talking about fire building. So we came out here today and gathered some tinder, which is really tiny things that a spark could light on fire. It needs to be really dry and really tiny. And today we're working in the fog. We've had a lot of snow, so we had to get creative. So we found some little seed heads that are really fluffy and dried out and gathered those up. We have some different things in our pan here. When we have school groups out, we use these nice little hog pans. These kind of keep the fire more contained and gives everybody an idea of how big their sticks should be, so they're not bringing us huge logs like they like to bring. So I would have way more items in here if I were going to build a real fire. This would probably be full of just tinder, and then I would have other piles of small twigs, bigger sticks, nothing bigger than my wrist, but I'd have everything lined up in similar sized piles. So once I get my spark going and a flame happening, I can grab that pile and gently add it to the flame without smothering it. That's really important when you're building your fire. But today we're just showing you how to make these different sparks and not building a whole fire. So I would not have my sparks land in this pan looking like this. I would build a little nest for my spark to land in. So I've knotted some of these seed heads together that provide a better nest for the spark to land on. So a spark will fall in here, and the heat from it could cause one of these fluffy things to ignite. So I just have built these little nests here for us. And I kind of gather them together on top of all of my tinder. So it's foggy today. We're not going to demonstrate our magnifying glass, but if we did, as you hold the magnifying glass up, a beam of light comes through, and you can angle the magnifying glass to change, and eventually a teeny tiny dot will appear in one area and it'll start to smoke if it's a bright sunny day. Don't put this on your hands to test it because it is hot. Trust me, it's hot. So once you see smoke, just keep it there. You're getting closer. Another cool thing you can do is take a battery. This is a 9-volt battery and steel wool. This is really cool. It allows you to create a spark by connecting these points on the top. Can be kind of hard to see. And as it goes through the steel wool, it keeps that spark going. So I'm not very prepared here, so let's see, I'm going to bring my tiny tinder around and try and lay it on top of my steel wool as it keeps sparking down. So my tinder is a little wet yet, so it didn't take. But that was a good demonstration of how the steel wool works. It works very fast and it chews through your steel wool very quickly. So I don't use big pieces like this. I tear them apart into smaller pieces so that I can keep getting that heat going. And I don't use it all in one fell swoop. So that's not going very well. We want to go up to the next thing. We have these cool Ferro Rods. And these allow sparks to be thrown from this striker. So you kind of get your rod down here and your striker at a nice angle. Now if you have a brand new one of these, they're coated in black and you have to scrape that black off before it'll create a spark. But with firm, even pressure, you strike down the ferro rod and it will throw sparks. This is a really fun way to create sparks. It can be frustrating. It takes a while to get, but you want to have your nest ready to catch that spark, because you can see it doesn't last very long at all. So you want that to land on something dry and flammable. So if you had a bunch of steel wool, I would make a ball of that and throw my sparks on that to make your spark last longer. So that's a really fun one to try. We have strikers here that are just like the Ferro Rod, but a little bit easier to use. They create sparks just with even pressure, so you can throw your sparks down on that using a striker. Matches. We have lots of matches, and I want to remind parents that even though matches can be kind of spooky, lots of kids we see out here have never used a match before, so they don't know how to use it, and it's a skill that can come in handy someday. So I encourage you to bond as a family and get your matches together and teach your kids how to strike them. So once you get your matchbox open, you make sure your matches are closed and apply even pressure, and you get your match going. So another thing, when it gets really tough and kids get really frustrated, sometimes we'll give them a little torch to use, and this is a flameless one, but you can see the flame coming out and catching the tinder on fire. So those are different things that we use when we have students out here. So please join us on our day when we're going to be building fires and shelters out here. That is February 21st, I believe. It is a Sunday from 1 to 3. And we'll be going through all of this together, and you'll be able to use our tools and give your hand a try at fire building. Thank you very much.